Hello everybody, and welcome to another new kind of series, new whatever you want to call it, in the Dishonored franchise. That's right, we're playing Dowd's DLC, and we finished the Knife of Dunwall, and now we're on to part 2, the Brigmore Witches. So this basically just follows on from what I know, directly after the Knife of Dunwall. Overseers attacked Dowd's hideout. Billy Lyric. Turns out she was traitorous, but because I'm a nice guy, because I'm redeeming myself, Dowd let her go, and she didn't try and fight me. Delilah, the witch lady, she basically was the one who convinced Billy and the overseers to attack me, and so I guess this DLC is about us finding and hopefully bringing to justice Delilah. So without further ado, without more ramblings from myself, let us hit new game. Oh, a saved game of the Knife of Dunwall has been found. You can use your progression in the Brigmore Witches. Oh my god, you receive your equipment and powers. Yes, please. You chose to use the low chaos progression of the Knife of Dunwall and the Brigmore Witches. Continue? Fuck yes. So I get to carry over all my powers. This is going to be good. I'm going to enjoy this. Veteran, a moderately challenging experience. Enemies inflict... Yeah, let's do veteran.
He knew. The black-eyed bastard knew that when my blade stilled the Empress's heart and delivered her daughter to the Lord Regent's men, everything would fall to pieces. He watched me do it anyway. And now the world's gone mad. Plague grinds the city down. Corruption rots. A mad killer roams the streets by night, seeking revenge. The overseers have stormed my hideout in the flooded district. And I'm in a strange duel with a mad witch named Delilah for the fate of the Empire. I'd say I was being punished, but I know that the world doesn't punish wicked people. We make our choices and take what comes. And the rest is void. I can't say I wasn't warned.
Well, that was a nice little summation of what's been happening.
The men are recovering well from the attack, but they don't understand the danger they're in. My mother warned me never to make an enemy of a witch.
Corvo?
Corvo, here to settle our debt. You understand, I won't make this easy for you.
Whoa! How do I use powers again? I've forgotten. Oh, wrist bow. How'd he go? Oh, there he is. Keep fighting him. Son of a bitch. Ah, 'twas a dream.
What is it?
Thomas has returned with the information you requested. He's waiting for you below.
Thank you. Oh my god. The reclamation of Dunwall. Dunwall, the seat of power in the known civilized world, the Empire of the Isles, is a great capital. Oh, parting shot. The hell's that? Alright, I'll take trophies for no real reason. And it has been brought low by vermin, the very thought ghouls. We are faced with the reality that our once great city is in a state of shambles, and the few remaining domicile? Whatever word that is, in any habitable condition are the estates of those wealthy enough to ward themselves against that reality. A city can now continue to thrive, populated by only the upper classes, and their sophisticrats. Whatever. Even the plague were gone tomorrow. In its present state, Dunmore doesn't have enough hardy people of working age to return the city to everyday function. We must find a way to attract more residents, which requires removing the cloud of fear brought about by the current regime. The Lord Regent and his the lackeys are bad for business, my friends. So it falls upon us. A plague and a tyrant must be overcome. And after that, we must undertake a third miracle, turning the screws on the obscenely wealthy, forcing them to pay back into the place that has given them their privileged lives. It is the powerful and fortunate who must pay for the rebuilding of Dunmore, even if the poorest will bear the stones and timbers of reconstruction on their backs. All this must happen for the dormant machine of commerce to restart. Without that, we are all forfeit, and the greatest city of our age will be lost. He's got a point, man. There we go. Regency and emergency powers. The first is the minimalization of incentive for coup. There's no predeterminate person or position within the government that is scheduled to take on the mantle of regency during a time of crisis. Instead, a regent is chosen by parliamentary accord. This serves to avoid promoting a path of derelict ascendancy and to discourage those who would scheme for such a turn of events. It is the assumption of our government documents that such a legislative, that's a hard word for me, body will always have the wisdom to see through would-be usurpers. The second is the assurance of stability for the commons during and after the transitional phase. During an where a regent rules the land, there are categories of law and decrees that cannot be altered without a majority vote from Parliament. Thus, daily life for the people will not change dramatically when during the time of regency, or shift drastically once a proper heir takes up the throne. Third, and perhaps most important, is that a worthy successor is found in order to rule out hasty actions and to maximize stability. There will be no term limit, or duration applied to the period of regency. Historically, rash decisions have been greatly contested, resulting in extended political turmoil or outright conflict. When the proper heir is found and the position is filled by someone worthy of the role, all others will fall in and provide their support. Interesting. Okay. Now, cobbled bits of bone. They say my mother was a witch, but the truth, as is often the case, depends on perspective and your place in the world. She relied on poisons made from exotic herbs and the blowfish that live in the reef waters near Pandysia. Her power orientated in hallucinogenics delivered through guile or by force to those who crossed her. There was an unusual intensity in her gaze for certain, but it came from within, not from the outsider. It's what happens to anyone pushed to the absolute edge of sanity and survival, who stays there for years and returns to walk among the sheep in so-called civilized society. My mother was crafty, but if it was anything more than powders, hidden knives and guile, I never saw it. Like they tell children, some of those truly touched by the black-eyed bastard can move through the black-eyed bastard can move through the space between rooftops like a sparrow. Others command armies of rats or poisonous flies as easy as they wriggle their fingers and toes. The overseers are right to fear us, to warn the common folk to stay near their homes at night and keep their families close. But there are other ways its influence manifests itself. Those who serve me share in some of what I can do. Oh, this is Dowd writing this shit. And I suspect it's the same for Delilah Copperspoon's coven. Then there are those who can craft runes and charms. The old woman across town, they call her Granny Rags. Ooh. She carves and polishes the bones of whales, stringing them together and opening them to the void until they moan like the fever sick on a cold night. I found a few of her talismans, and with each one I touched, a tiny piece of me departed and settled in with her. What does she gain? A longer life? Some other kind of power? I don't understand. The making of such things is beyond me. I've known 4 people in my time who carry the mark of the outsider, but I've known dozens more who wanted it, who stood at night and stagnant ponds or beaked with the dust blown through the gravestones. People who gutted farm animals or burned the flesh of men, thinking it would call forth the void. I met a dying man once who had collected runes and charms for years. He crushed them all into powder and made a paste and ate them, thinking he could gain whatever magic was in the things. His death was long and painful. Jesus. I also knew a woman from Kanaka who would trade for charms and other bits of whalebone. She cracked them apart and fused them back together, then sold them. I bought one of these corrupted charms that she swore would cause sharp metal to break out of my skin. To break on my skin, sorry. And it worked. But each time I did, one of my teeth turned black and fell out. After the third time, I gave it to one of my men. Now when he smiles, it's all bleeding gums. And I wonder what parts inside him are turning black. Jesus. Sometimes I ask myself, without these gifts, would I be a man to fear? Would I be called the Knife of Dunwall, with my name whispered through the markets and the alleyways, the high towers and drawing rooms? I'd like to think so, but it really does matter. As long as I bear this mark, I'll use whatever craft I have to force my will on the world. The harder trick is undoing what I've done. Damn, we're getting all the lore. Oh, the lore, I want it. Also, I hear you, rune. Hold on. No, that's the wrong one. Right, what are we doing? Void gaze. Spend time. There we go. Have I read this one? Oh yeah, we have read this one. Where the fuck's that rune I hear? Oh, there. Bone charm, actually. Ingot. Oh. A note from Billy. Oh. Dowd, no need to waste breath with apologies or excuses. You taught me that. All I can say is that as soon as I have left Dunwall, my head felt clear. Maybe for the first time. You told me once that people like us burn hot, then burn up. We don't get a chance to start over. No long days in the sun, but I know you, Dowd. Despite all the blood in your hands, you've been stashing coin. No one does that if they're not holding on to something. You got some kind of plan, some hope for a new life. Maybe you knew, maybe you didn't, but that's what you gave me when you let me walk away. The one thing you said that wasn't possible, and I will never forget that. When the time comes, and it will, I hope you're watching close so you get that chance too. I left a book for you. The world is big, bigger than I knew. There are lots of places where an old man like you could disappear. Billy. Ah. It's kind of cool. And, ooh, corrupted bone charms. Corrupted bone charms are powerful bone charms that come with a cost. Locate them like normal bone charms by listening for the song they emit, or with the void gaze power. Equip them in the bone charms tab of the journal. Corrupted bone charm. What the fuck? Reinforced bolts. That's not it, is it? Oh, there it is there. Power slash. You deal greater damage with your sword. You swing your sword slower. Oh, I don't want that. I want that one. That one. That one. Meh. That one. Find ammo in greater amounts. That one, and we'll do spirited for now. What is in here? There's a rune below me. A rune over there. Interesting. I'm definitely still in my headquarters. Oh, it's right down here. I see. Yep. Ah, so Thomas is the one I gotta talk to. Hold on, let's just double check that. Speak with Thomas for briefing. Well, I don't want to do that. Folded Galvani resin. Take it. Collect blueprints to unlock new upgrades and equipment at the start of your next mission. Cool. That's what I'm gonna do. Another one. Ingot me. I want all the money. Ingot. That rune. Ah, it's nice owning this place. Oh, my gears. Nice. Kiwi rune. Thank you, Granny Rags, or whoever I got that from. And old Betsy. Don't ask me why, but Betsy's the name that's been given. Yay, runes. I have one rune. I want to do this one. I have 4 runes, actually. Fuck me. That's right. They do take it all over from last game. Perfect. Yeah, completely stops time. Ooh, I want that. Hey, what was the other one? Pull. Ooh. I think I want be in time, then I'm gonna get that one. Alright, good work, dude. Alright, you chill. Thomas. I want this. Oh, there's money and shit too. Give it. How we doing, boys, lads? All good on the eastern
Taking
front?
prisoners is exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about.
You don't have to remind me. It's Billy's doing that the Overseers found us. That wasn't Dowd.
Dowd should have caught it. And now witches? He's not the man he was.
Quiet. You're going to get us killed.
Yeah, boys, I'm right here. Like,
Dowd. Ever vigilant, I see. Are we leaving soon to Brigmore?
Interesting times, gentlemen. Overseers in the flooded district. Witches abroad in the city. Traitors in the ranks. I'd be nervous too. Then I'd remember who killed the Empress in Dunwall Tower. And came out untouched.
yeah, that's basically you two on report. The Knife of Dunwall, a survivor's tale. Gentle reader, be assured that your coin is well spent today. What you read here may one day preserve your life and your sanity. No one has seen the Knife of Dunwall and lived to tell of it until now. The sun was setting a bloody stain against the sky, silhouetted the noble contours of Rothwell's slaughterhouse. The stench of blood, the flesh of men and whales, soured the air. Dowd slithered from the sewers, his body slick with gore and crawling with vermin that no mortal man could have tolerated. His shadow stretched out before him on the ground and revealed his true nature. A horned thing, wrapped by heresy. What the fuck? A shape too terrible to put into words, my gentle readers. A sorcerer from the void, without question. I could hear the moans of the dying workers he left in his wake, but he did not even pause to acknowledge their plight, for his heart is colder than Tivian ice. Instead, he let out a Gertrude howl of victory, the shock of which snuffed out the life of those poor dying workers, and then he bounded away, moving from roof to roof back toward the streets. And this was where I thought this chapter would end, until I heard the music. The grinding metal music of the Overseers echoed from the nearby alleyways, and I knew there would soon be a fight. With only my sense of duty to the fallen citizens of Dunwall to keep my fear from overtaking me, I inched closer to the mouth of the alley for a better vantage. A brave contingent of Overseers had captured one of Dowd's lieutenants, lurking in the alley. He or she, for what I could not tell beneath the thick leather of the industrial whaler suit, was prone and tied with sturdy ropes. Surrounded Overseers, but their fixation was ultimately their undoing. Dowd fell from above, moving through the air as easily as a falcon. I swear it upon my spirit, without sound he glided down among them, and the music maker was the first to die as Dowd tore the man's head from his shoulders. The richer song faded in a discordant wail. Then I watched as the most notorious assassin of our time became a flurry of leather, metal, and blood, deflecting bullets and sword blades with ease. The last Overseer, no doubt, consumed with terror at seeing his brothers fall so easily, sank to his knees and begged for mercy. Dowd spoke a single word that made my entrails squirm in my belly upon hearing it. The Overseer shrieked like a madman till his mask split in two, as though struck by some hammer and chisel, and a stream of blood gushed forth from the crack bathing Dowd's boots. I closed my eyes at that point, too overwhelmed to witness any further atrocity. I could only hope that if that foul heretic discovered me next, my life would end swiftly. But when I opened my eyes, Dowd was nowhere to be seen. That was the last I ever saw of the Knife of Dunwall. So heed my warnings, gentle reader. Should you or anyone you love witness some misshapen shadow, fall across your path, or should you hear the slightest rumor of dark words whispered from the rooftops, then flee. Flee with all haste. That's a lie, sir. I am a nice, kind, gentle Dowd. I am Dowd redeemed. Oh no, my battery! Oh, fuck, wrong one. You know what I should be doing? I couldn't figure out why I was, there we go, that's why I was having troubles. Ruin me. 2 a tune, baby. 2 a 2. And I'm 1 away. Nice. So what else? Is there nothing else? Are we done here? Guys?
They say he let Rothwild live. Is Dowd getting soft?
Rothwild's not coming back anytime soon. You should spend more time thinking about your form.
Anytime you think I'm a little soft, you're welcome to come by my office. Bring a blade.
Damn, boys, don't talk shit about me. Also, I saw you book. The Royal Spy Master? Sure, Spy Master. It is said that the office of the Royal Spy Master has existed for as long as there have been emperors and empresses. However, in the earliest days of the Empire, this position existed in secret. Oh, wait a minute. I've read this. I read that in the main game. Look, you want to read that? Go back and read it. We'll go find it in the main game. You just pause this video. I mean, either or works for me. Okie doke. I guess it's time to talk to Thomas. Thomas isn't very. Never mind. Thomas is German. I was going to say Thomas isn't a very assassino name, but we'll work on it. He should be called like Theodorus or something dramatic. Our troubles began with a name, Delilah. A mystery given to Dowd by the face he sees in his dreams and those voices he hears when kneeling at the shrines hidden in the lost parts of the city. None of us have ever heard his voice, but we know its power. It's spoken to our master, telling him of his coming doom and saying that solving this riddle was the only way to escape. We knew nothing of Delilah except that we found a whaling ship by that name. A tenuous connection, but where the outsider's word is connected, there are no coincidences. We discovered the ship was named after a woman who once walked the halls of Dunwall Tower with Jessamine Caldwin. Later she became a painter, an apprentice of Sokolov himself, until she snared an aristocratic patron named Arnold Timsh. We met with Timsh's niece, who offered us information on Delilah in exchanging for eliminating her uncle. Removing aristocrats was our specialty, so our master agreed. With barrister Arnold Timsh gone, his niece divulged everything she knew. Delilah was more than a painter, and she was hiding in the old Brigmore manor outside the city. But by then, we were too late. Delilah anticipated our threat. For some time, she had been working with her corruptive influence on the best of us, the assassin Billy Lurk. Delilah turned Lurk against us, and together they sold us out to the overseers. When we returned to our hideout in the flooded district, we were swarmed by gold masks and hounds, but Dowd is quick and wise in our trade, and in the end, he kept us alive, though there were losses. Now our resources are strained, some of the men are grumbling. I see the strain on Dowd's face. Killing the Empress, handing over her daughter, those are not easy burdens to bear, and Lurk's betrayal weighs on him heavy. His sleep is troubled by curses and shouts. Now we make our preparations to strike back at Delilah. She's planning something in Brigmore, something that affects everyone in the Isles, and she will be expecting us. Like our master, she shares her gifts from the outsider with those who follow her. How many are there, I wonder? I have no secrets from my master. My loyalty is without question, but I fear these may be the last days of the Whalers. Perhaps the last days of Dowd. Damn, Thomas, at least you're a good dude, though. At least you're loyal. The Isle of Serkonos? Serkonos! The jewel of the south is best known for its warm winds, spiced foods, and endless beaches. Sounds like a great holiday destination. With the city of Colorado sees the heaviest flow of travellers from across the Isles. Karnaca, on the southernmost edge of the known world, is preferred among the elite of the Empire. It is said that a month spent resting beneath the sun on the beaches of Serkonos or within one of the rural villages can cure most bad things. Travellers bring back recipes and styles from the south, and the dance that all Serkonos learned and their young are favoured in Bristol for their sensuality, copied by the fashionable aristocracy in the capital city of Dunwall. The only persistent trouble in Serkonos originates among the string of tiny isles stretching away from the mainland to the east. For generations, pirates have hidden among these archipelagos, raiding traders passing between the isles, and more recently, attacking whaling ships, returning with rich stores of oil. Motherfuckers. The Whalers. One gentleman of advanced age swore that his brother had been taken by the Whalers, a notorious gang associated with the man called Dowd. According to Peter Mansfield, His brother Rudolph was proud of working with the Royal Spymaster's Reasonable Citizens Group, feeling no shame in reporting on what he perceived as shady dealings by his rivals at the fish markets. But this might have been the source of his trouble. On the 6th evening of the month of Hearths, Rudolph came storming into Peter's home, white-faced and panic-stricken, claiming to have been chased by a group of ruffians wearing the leather suits and vapor mask used by the men working in the whale oil factories. Peter gave him supper and drink, sending him on his way later that night, after which Rudolph was never again seen. Damn, he must have been a bit of a dick. And look at this shit. Wow. Dude. Thomas, my dude. Give me all that good information. Let's get this bitch.
I found Lizzie Stride. Getting her to lend us her boat will be a bit complicated, however. She's in Coldridge. From what I hear, they've got enough on her to hold her for about 1,000 years.
Coldridge. We can use this. We'll get her out. And Stride will have to pay back the favor. We'll have our transport.
Ready to leave, sir? Or should I wait?
Nah, dude, let's go to Coldridge Prison. Oh boy. Not bad. Runes. Coin. I found all the coin. That's a bonus. Defeated Corvo in a dream. That was a special action. I didn't kill anyone. Fucking miracle.